I want you to know that you can start over again. I want you to know that we serve a God who gives first, second, third chances. If you feel like that you have gone too far, you've messed up too much, that you don't have anything to add value to this world. If you feel like you're too far gone, you've made too many mistakes, you've made too many bad decisions, and you feel like your life is just, it is what it is. I want you to know that we serve a God who gives first, second, third chances, and he loves you, and he wants you to have a good life. He wants you to have a fulfilling life. So if you feel like you've messed up, I want you to know right now that you don't have to go through all these different changes, all these different steps, all these different uh, things you got to do to get back in right standing with God. All you have to do is come before him sincerely and say, Lord, I have messed up. Lord, I have made a mistake. Lord, I want to be back in right standings with you. He is the God who will forgive. He is the God that will restore. And he can put your life together. He can put you back on a path to righteousness. He can put you back on a path that you can pick yourself up for wherever you feel like you messed up. You can ask him for forgiveness. You can sincerely call unto the name of the Lord. He said, for those who call upon him out of a sincere heart, they will be saved. And he will hear you. And you can go on with your life. You don't have to go through years and years and years of beating yourself up, beating yourself down. Right where you are, you can turn around. Right where you are, you can start again. Listen, I know for a fact I was a believer for a very long time, and I went through a traumatic situation with when I was in a church about over 20 years ago. And when I left that church, I was hurt, I was broken, I was upset, I was confused because it was, I thought I was at a place that really sincerely cared about me. But sometimes you be up under leadership that somewhere down the line they miss it. They miss the mark. They give into the temptation, and they allow themselves to get puffed up, and they begin to hurt the people that God sent them to help heal. And I was in a ministry like that for 13 years, and I was faithful. But when the leader of that ministry made a pass at me, when the leader of that ministry tried to seduce me, I was hurt by that because I looked up to him. But that's been over 20 years ago, and I left that ministry after being there for 13 years. It was not easy for me to leave because I was pretty much indoctrinated to their beliefs, and I was under a cult like situation. But the grace of God, through his grace, through his love, through his power, I was able to come out of that. But when I did come out of that, I came out of that hurt and confused. And to be honest with you, I just said, I'm not doing church anymore. I'm not doing this God thing anymore. And so I just felt like I'm just going to do my own thing. And I did my own thing for several years. But one thing I have found out is that until you do what God has called you to do, you will live a miserable life. And I tried to ignore God. I tried to ignore the voice. I tried to ignore the call. I tried to ignore being in his presence. I tried to party over it, have relationships over it. And it never worked for me because that's not what God had called for me to do. I love the Lord and I wanted to serve him. So I found my way back. I found my way back through forgiveness. I found my way back through letting him know, God, I need you. I messed up. But if you will help me, if you will just get me back into a place of right standings with you and help me to get over these hurts and help me to get over these pains and help me to forgive. And I'm telling you, day by day, moment by moment, year by year, it happened for me. And now I'm in a great place with God. I'm in a great spiritual place with him, and I'm growing and I'm still learning. But I want you to know that if you've messed up, Believer, non-believer, it doesn't matter. If you feel like you've messed up, we serve a God who's able to forgive, who's able to restore. I am a living testimony that he will forgive you and he will restore you. And so your future is still bright. Your life is not over. You have a lot of living ahead of you. God has need of you, and he wants you to just trust him, let it all go, ask him to forgive you, let him restore you, and you go on with your life because he's got something great in store for you. He wants to use you in this day and in this time. He wants to use your gifts, your talents, your abilities in the marketplace. So, baby, get on up. Sis, get up. Brother, get up. Get up and go on and trust God to make everything all right for you, because we know he will do it. I know he will do it. He just wants you to call on him. Be blessed.